Hi everyone, and welcome to the Inside Guide podcast. I'm Marion, coach and facilitator, and this show is all about exploring yourself. Each week, I'll give you all the tips and tricks you need to gain clarity and serenity. My mission here is to help you to reconnect to you so that you can take real actions to feel happier and more aligned. So sit back, relax, and let's begin. Hello, and welcome to this first episode on the Inside Guide podcast. So if you're new here, I suggest you to first listen to the episode 0, the Inside Guide Commitments, where I introduce myself and tell you a bit more about the show. So for these first episodes, I want to talk about the pursuit of happiness. So I think we can all relate to that, right? I think we all want to be happy. But what is it to be happy? So when we say that we want to be happy, what we actually trying to tell others is that we want to feel good. So in fact, when we say that we want to be happy, we are looking for positive feelings. We want to feel positive emotions. So we want to feel happy, fulfilled, free, maybe empowered, optimistic, content. We want to connect to people and have a life filled with passion. Maybe we want to feel curiosity, comfort, safety. We want to feel confident, sexy, funny, etc. So if we had like a magician or a genius that would tell us, don't worry, because you will have a life filled with all this positive emotion, then the outer circumstances would not bother us. So we need to understand that the outer circumstances would not be important to us. So what I'm trying to tell you now is that behind this, what we do in life, like everything that we're doing in life isn't for a situation, an object, or a person that we desire, but it is actually for the way we think we will feel when we will get that thing, that object, or that situation. Is it clear? So when I'm looking to get something, it's because I truly think that that thing will make me happy or will make me feel good, content or joyful or whatever, any positive feelings. So when we understand this, we understand that what drives our actions is this pursuit of positive feelings, is this pursuit of feeling good. So let me give you an example. Let's say that I really want to buy a house, that I really want to become landlord. Well, in fact, deep down, like really deep down into myself, this is not the house that I want, is what I think I will get if I have a house. So, for example, I want a house because behind this, I want to feel relieved. I want to feel home. I want to feel comfort and safety. And I really want to feel free of having my own place. So when I think about having a house, I think I will be happier. I will be more fulfilled. I will feel more safe. I will feel maybe more comfort, etc. But you or someone else might think that owning a house is a source of huge stress commitment, and captivity. So, what is important behind this is the link between what we're thinking, our thoughts, and how we feel, so our emotions. So, we can understand that any situations and circumstances is in fact neutral. We feel the way we feel only through the filter of what we think we will get with an object or a situation. So, if I get back to the example of the house, it's not about the house. The house is neither positive or negative, it's just neutral. It's only what I repeat to myself about it. This is really important, so I'm going to repeat it. The house, any situation, is neither positive or negative, it's only neutral. Any situation is positive or negative through the filter of what I think about it. So, if I repeat to myself, for example, owning a house is the possibility to finally become a landlord and finally become free and having an investment for the future for my potential family and kids, and I won't waste my money and giving my money to others, etc. If I repeat this to myself, then the concept of buying a house will feel positive to me. However, if you think or if someone else think owning a house is a huge source of stress and commitments and having a loan, just thinking about it, I feel like very panic and stress is just a big pressure to pay it back. Then to that person, the idea of buying a house will be very stressful and negative. So for a house, it's just a matter of choice, and you don't have to buy one if you don't want to. It's completely okay. But when it's more interesting, it's, for example, someone who wants to quit that job and start their own business. So we have two people here with the same business. They create and open a yoga studio. But of course, obviously, at the beginning, they don't have much clients. So let's take the first person. The first person think it's a complete disaster. I shouldn't have quit my job. I don't make enough money. I don't have enough clients, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to pay, the loan back, or how I'm going to pay the rent. I don't know how I'm going to do. I feel very stressed. So we can see that if the first person cultivates these kind of thoughts, then it's going to be hard to keep going and move forward and create the business of their dreams. Now let's take the second one. The second person has exactly the same situation, but thinks, all right, it's normal, it's the beginning. I don't have much clients for now, but I will. And with all this spare time, I'm going to make sure that the few students that I have will feel good, supported, and helped. And I'm sure that if the few people that comes right now feel this way, then they will spread the words to their friends, and in no time I will have more clients. So can you see the difference between those two people? It's exactly the same situations, but by the way they think, their actions will align differently. So we can easily understand that if I cultivate constructive thoughts, then it will be easier for me to keep going and to keep faith. My actions will be driven by another powerful source if I cultivate this kind of constructive thoughts. So, to summarize and to repeat a bit what we've seen so far, when we say that we want to be happy, we actually want to feel good. And our actions are driven by the pursuit of positive feelings. These positive feelings are created by the filter of what I think I will feel after I get an object, a situation, a person, etc. So today I want to ask you, what is the filter that you want to choose to see your life through? How aware are you of what you're thinking most of the time? How aware are you of the thoughts that you cultivate regarding a situation that you desire? I think it's very important to ask ourselves these kinds of questions because, as I told you in the episode 0, when we live a life from the outside in, most of the time we're not aware of what we think. We're not aware of the thoughts that we cultivate. And it means that we are dependent to outer situations. And this is why we try to fill up our lives with possessions and things and people and money. It's because we are dependent from outer situations, and the way we feel depends of the weather, depends of what people tell us, depends of our job, it depends of outer situation, something from outside us. And when we live through the outside in this way, it's never enough, my friends. We always want more and more. And this is why we never find fulfillment, because we don't feel happy because it's raining, for example, since a week, and this is why we feel depressed, or we feel unhappy because our friend, she or he, told me something that I didn't like, and so I'm gonna blame over and over outer circumstances. However, if I try to live from the inside out, I get back my power because I try to understand what I think and how these thoughts are linked to my emotions, are linked to how I feel. I don't constantly blame others, the weather, and the outside, but I try to search for an answer inside. So when I do that, I get back my power and I become the captain of my life because I decide that only I can choose the way I feel. Only I want to have an influence and an impact on how I feel. And as I truly want to be happy and I truly want to feel good, I decide to commit to live a life from the inside out. And this is where all the answers lies. It's all here. It's all inside me. This is how I will find true joy and true fulfillment. So, if you related to that, I'm going to give you and strongly suggest you to do it. It's a very simple exercise. So, basically, the idea is to set a timer for at least 5 minutes. I recommend between 5 and 15 minutes a day. And during these 15 minutes, you write down on paper what you're thinking. So I strongly recommend to buy a journal, to, buy something, a book dedicated to this work, and that you do it every day. You just not try to control your thoughts, but just catch your thoughts. And when you catch one, just write it down. You don't have to read it again. But the idea is just to put down what you're thinking, and just by doing this, naturally, first you become more aware of what you cultivate in your mind so that you can change it. And even without this, naturally, you will become to shift the way you're thinking, and it's going to help you to cultivate more productive thoughts. And do it for at least a couple of weeks. I suggest at least a month because it's only with time and consistency that results appear. Thank you so much for listening, guys. If you liked this episode and you like my vibes and the message that I try to share with the world, the best way to support the podcast is to subscribe to it and give it a review on Apple Podcast or the platform of your choice. This really helps the podcast to be more visible and others like you to find it and get inspired. I see you in the next episode. Enjoy!